Welcome back to the Dinar Daily, and thank you for joining us for what is undoubtedly one of the most significant and necessary discussions we have had on this channel in quite some time. Before we fully immerse ourselves in the details, I want to present you with a powerful concept that will ensure you remain engaged with this video until the very last second. We are about to systematically deconstruct one of the most pervasive and widely circulated claims currently sweeping through the dinar community, appearing in social media threads, investment forums, and private rumor networks alike. That claim revolves around the persistent idea that the Iraqi dinar has somehow reached, achieved, or been secretly assigned a fixed exchange rate of exactly $2.31. This specific figure, $2.31, has been appearing virtually everywhere lately, generating a massive tidal wave of attention, intense debate, heightened expectations, and strong emotional reactions from individuals who closely follow currency markets. It is crucial to understand right from the start that our objective here is fundamentally different from the usual noise you might encounter online. We are not here to amplify the hype, we are not here to sell you a dream, and we are certainly not here to validate unverified rumors as established facts. Instead, our mission today is to break down exactly what people are discussing, explore why this specific number is circulating with such intensity, examine how these conversations typically originate, and outline what every holder needs to understand about claims like this in the landscape of 2025. We are going to strip away the confusing jargon and complex financial vocabulary to provide a clear, simple, and easy-to-follow deep dive into the heart of this rumor. The core topic is the assertion that a fixed rate of $2.31 exists, a number that is being discussed across online communities as if it represents a monumental shift or a historic financial event. When you look at the landscape of current discussions, this number is being treated by many as if it signifies a long-awaited conclusion to years of patience. People are sharing videos, forum posts, and private messages suggesting that a rate like this, were it to be real, would represent tremendous value compared to the dinar's actual exchange rate, as publicly listed by recognized financial systems. The fundamental issue, and what many observers tend to overlook in the heat of the moment, is that these conversations almost exclusively spread through unverified message chains, word-of-mouth channels, and small, insulated groups rather than through any official announcements. This dynamic means that the number tends to grow in popularity and perceived legitimacy simply because it is being repeated, even in the complete absence of verified confirmation. Despite this lack of evidence, the conversation persists because it fuels hope, curiosity, and debate among thousands of people. In this comprehensive breakdown, we are going to look closely at how these claims arise, the mechanisms by which they spread, and the critical questions that every responsible holder should be asking whenever they see bold numbers like this appearing on their screens. Understanding the nature of the conversation is just as important as understanding the financial reality behind it. One might ask, why do claims like a $2.31 fixed rate spread so rapidly in the first place? A significant driver is simple human psychology. When individuals have been holding an asset for many years, sometimes spanning a decade or longer, there is a natural, deeply ingrained desire to look for updates, signs of progress, and reasons to believe that a major change is imminent. Hope becomes an integral part of the emotional investment, and even if the financial gains have not yet materialized, the anticipation keeps the community discussion alive and vibrant. The psychology of specificity plays a massive role here as well. People may hear someone confidently use a highly specific number like 2.31, and because it sounds precise rather than a round number like $2 or $3, it feels inherently more credible. Precision often creates a powerful illusion of accuracy, leading people to assume that the number must be based on a calculation, a spreadsheet, or an insider document. That feeling alone can lead entire communities to repeat the figure until it transforms into a popular talking point. However, it is vital to remember that repetition does not equal verification. A claim can be circulated 1,000,000 times and still be entirely unfounded. Understanding that distinction is crucial for staying grounded. As we explore this topic, our goal is to examine the discussion itself, not to promote it as a confirmed reality. We want you to walk away from this video informed, steady, and clear-minded. Another reason this topic gains such traction is the way content is created and consumed in the digital age. Many content creators online frame rumors like this as breaking news, even when there is absolutely no official financial authority making such an announcement. The internet economy rewards exciting headlines, and platforms naturally push videos with dramatic titles to wider audiences. The more sensational the claim, the more engagement it generates, creating a feedback loop where creators who are seeking views may choose to highlight the most attention-grabbing numbers available. Once a number like $2.31 appears in one video, it gets repeated, shared, and reposted until it starts to feel familiar to the audience. Familiarity then slowly turns into acceptance for some viewers, who begin to believe the number is a fact simply because they have seen it so many times. Our responsibility on the Dinar Daily is to help break that cycle of automatic belief by introducing critical thinking and context. We discuss what people are saying, but we also rigorously clarify what is verified and what is not. This approach allows you to stay informed about community sentiment without falling into the trap of hype. As we continue through this extended breakdown, keep one principle in mind: the conversation is real, but the claims themselves must always be examined with extreme care. Let's look specifically at the phrase fixed rate, because this term is one of the main reasons people get so excited. In simple economic language, a fixed rate means a country has set its currency to hold a stable, unchanging value compared to another currency or a standard basket of currencies. While some countries do use fixed exchange systems to create predictability in trade, these are major official government-level decisions. Announcements regarding fixed rates or currency pegs are never hidden, secret, or quietly whispered to small groups online. They come from official institutions, are announced politically and clearly, and are accompanied by extensive public documentation. Therefore, when you hear people casually talking about a fixed rate of $2.31 being live or active in secret, the most important question you should ask yourself is, if this were real, wouldn't it already be global news reported by every major financial outlet in the world? Understanding that reality helps you process what is being said online without experiencing unnecessary stress or excitement. It keeps you grounded and aware of how currency systems actually function in the real world. While the financial reality may not have changed, the conversation absolutely has, and many are discussing what such a number would mean for their lives if it were ever to become real. Some viewers express a belief that Iraq may eventually revalue or adjust its currency as part of its ongoing economic progress and reintegration into the global market. The reason these conversations keep resurfacing is that Iraq is indeed a country that has undergone massive transitions over the past few decades, politically, economically, and structurally. Whenever a nation is in a phase of rebuilding, there is always rampant speculation about where its economy may go in the future. People talking about the $2.31 rate are often reflecting their hopes for this future, not reporting on actual confirmed updates. While today's discussion explores this claim in detail, it does so purely as a breakdown of the current rumor mill, never as confirmation of something officially happening. Transparency is what keeps this conversation honest and helpful. Let's shift our focus to why so many holders gravitate toward numbers like $2. 31 specifically, when you look at global exchange rates historically, there have been instances where currencies dramatically increased in value after major economic reforms or political stabilization. While these examples exist, they are exceptionally rare and happen under very specific, complex economic conditions. People who follow the dinar storyline often compare Iraq to those rare historical cases, hoping that something similar may eventually occur. However, understanding why people make these comparisons helps explain why certain rate numbers gain traction. The $2.31 claim becomes a symbol of what people hope for rather than a reflection of verified data. In our breakdown today, we want to help you separate hope, rumor, and speculation from factual reporting, so you can navigate these discussions without confusion. Now, let's talk about the structure of the online conversation itself. When a claim begins circulating, especially a dramatic one, it often starts with a small group or an individual who believes they have access to insider information. These groups sometimes use exclusive terms like tiers, private exchanges, or secret notifications. Because these terms sound mysterious and exclusive, they naturally pull people in. The language makes the claim feel special, creating a sense that the listener is part of an inner circle, even when there is no evidence behind it. Over time, more people repeat what they heard and the claim spreads wider. Eventually, you get thousands of people repeating the same message, even though it still lacks a confirmed source. This is exactly how the $2.31 number became a major talking point. It didn't appear from official channels, it appeared from community conversation. This distinction matters immensely because it explains why responsible holders must stay cautious, realistic, and well-informed. In public finance, major currency changes simply do not happen quietly. They do not happen secretly, and they do not happen through hidden groups receiving privileged updates before the rest of the world. If a country adjusts its currency by even a small fraction, the entire global financial system reacts instantly. The information flows through official institutions, banking networks, currency trackers, and international reporting platforms in a matter of seconds. So, when you hear someone say, "This rate is confirmed," always pause and ask, "Confirmed by whom?" If it isn't coming from publicly recognized authorities, then it is not confirmed. It is merely discussed, repeated, or rumored. Let's break down further why specific numbers like $2.31 appear instead of general statements. When someone gives a precise value, it creates a much stronger emotional reaction than a vague estimate. It feels calculated, official, and definitive. People in currency rumor circles often use very specific numbers to make their claims sound more believable. The number $2.31 is not random in these discussions. It is repeated because it sounds like something that might come from a technical analysis or a policy document. That illusion of detail is what keeps the rumors circulating year after year. But being informed means understanding that a number can sound convincing without being verified. It takes only a few confident voices repeating a number to make an entire community start believing it is real. That is why we encourage every viewer to always step back, take a breath, and think critically when hearing claims that appear too perfect or too dramatic. In this video, our goal is to take these rumors apart carefully and give you a clear, balanced perspective. Let's also talk about how large online communities can unintentionally amplify unverified claims. When someone posts a bold statement, especially something that sounds like incredibly good news, people who want it to be true will often share it before checking the facts. This creates a fast, moving chain reaction. Within hours, thousands of people may be repeating something that began with a single unverified comment. And the more it spreads, the more legitimate it feels to newcomers entering the space. This phenomenon is not unique to the dinar community. It happens everywhere online where people gather to discuss shared interests. However, Currency discussions feel more intense because money is inherently emotional. People hope for financial improvement, and when that hope blends with rumor, the result can feel very convincing. That is why channels like the Dinar Daily focus on calm, grounded analysis. We want viewers to understand the conversation without falling into the emotional side of speculation. The $2.31 claim is a perfect example of how a single number can take on a life of its own, even without official confirmation. It serves as a case study in how information travels and evolves within enthusiastic communities. Another important point to consider is how long-term holders react emotionally when big claims appear. Many people have held onto their dinar for years, sometimes storing notes in safes, folders, envelopes, or secure locations for over a decade. When you hold something for such a long time, it becomes natural to look for a sign that your patience might finally pay off. That emotional connection makes large, exciting claims feel powerful and validating. Even if people logically know the claim might not be verified, they still feel drawn to the possibility because it validates their long-term commitment. That is why it is essential to separate emotional investment from factual information. Hope is fine and interest is fine, but making decisions based on unverified rumors can lead to misunderstandings. In this script, we break things down so viewers can manage expectations and stay grounded, especially when encountering claims like the supposed $2.31 fixed rate circulating in 2025. The more clarity people have, the stronger and more secure they feel when hearing these big claims. Let's now explore why Iraq often becomes the center of such intense speculation. Iraq is a country rich in natural resources, especially oil, and it has a large population, growing development projects, and ongoing economic reforms. Because of these fundamental factors, people naturally speculate about how the nation might grow or change financially in the future. When a country rebuilds and modernizes its economy, it becomes a magnet for speculation. Several communities look at Iraq's potential and imagine possible long-term outcomes, but imagining outcomes and confirming outcomes are two very different things. The conversation around the $2.31 number doesn't come from official institutions. It comes from people combining their hopes with the country's potential. That is why conversations spread so quickly. They blend optimism with rumor. In today's video, we highlight that difference clearly so viewers can feel empowered rather than confused. Understanding the distinction between potential and confirmation is critical for anyone following this market. Another topic people discuss is the idea of structured exchanges or tiers. These phrases appear often in online groups, but it is important to note that they are rarely tied to real, verifiable banking processes. Instead, these terms function like buzzwords that sound important but don't actually reflect official financial procedures. Real banks follow clear, regulated, public processes. They do not run hidden tiers, quiet exchange groups, or secret early access programs for currency revaluation. So when you hear people connect the $2.31 claim with terms like Tier 4B or structured liquidity releases, understand that these are part of the online rumor vocabulary, not part of actual global banking systems. Our mission is to help viewers separate real-world finance from rumor-based terminology. When you understand what is real and what is not, you can approach the conversation calmly, rationally, and with confidence. Let's also talk about the difference between market rumors and recognized financial updates. A recognized financial update comes from an official institution such as a central bank, a government entity, or an international financial organization. It is publicly published, clearly documented, and easily verifiable. A market rumor, however, is informal. It may come from an email, a text message, a forum, or a YouTube video. It spreads through conversation, not documentation. The $2.31 31 claim clearly falls into the rumor category because no recognized institutions have announced such a rate. But even though it's a rumor, it's still part of the conversation, and that is why we talk about it. Not to validate it, but to explain how rumors travel. When viewers learn to identify the difference between rumor and verification, they become stronger decision makers. That is one of the main goals of the Dinar Daily: to inform, not excite, to clarify, not confuse, and to present information responsibly. Now, let's look at the practical side. What should holders actually do when they encounter claims like the $2.31 rumor? The first step is to stay calm. Big numbers naturally create big emotions, but staying grounded keeps your thinking clear. The second step is to look for confirmation directly from official public sources. If something is not announced through official channels, then it is not confirmed. The third step is to review your holdings realistically, based on verified information rather than what someone online says. The fourth step is to avoid making rushed decisions. Rumors can make people panic or get excited, but decisions made during emotional moments often lead to regret. Being a responsible holder means being informed, steady, and realistic. Today's video gives you tools to do exactly that, especially when encountering dramatic claims like the alleged $2.31 fixed rate. With that said, let's explore why some people strongly believe these rumors even when they lack verification. A major reason is repetition. When a rumor is repeated for years, it begins to feel familiar, and familiarity often feels like truth, even when no evidence supports it. Another reason is community influence. If people surrounding you talk about a rumor as if it is real, it becomes harder to question it. The $2.31 rumor has benefited from both repetition and community reinforcement. It has been discussed for so long that many people assume it must have some foundation, but as we have shown today, familiarity does not equal verification. That is why channels like this one help break the cycle by presenting perspective and clarity. When you understand how repetition affects belief, you gain the ability to stay grounded and avoid being swept up by emotional waves of speculation. Let's also examine why dramatic financial rumors are so attractive. People are naturally drawn to ideas that promise sudden opportunity or rapid improvement. It captures the imagination and offers a respite from daily financial struggles. When people hear something like the dinar is now $2.31, it taps into powerful emotional areas: hope, relief, excitement, and expectation. Those emotions make the claim feel bigger and more believable than it actually is. Understanding this emotional effect helps you protect yourself from misinformation. Today's script breaks things down not just logically, but psychologically. When you understand how your emotions play into the rumor cycle, you become much better equipped to analyze information calmly and intelligently. Another layer worth exploring is how global economic discussions often get simplified or misunderstood online. Currency valuation is a complex subject involving inflation levels, international reserves, and government policies. But when these topics get turned into rumors, the complexity disappears, and only the exciting part remains. Someone might take a tiny piece of economic information and stretch it into a massive claim. Or they may misunderstand a financial term and turn it into something dramatic. The $2.31 claim fits neatly into this pattern. It takes a complex subject and reduces it to a single number without context. That is why videos like this one are important. They bring context back into the conversation, restore accuracy, and help people see the bigger picture instead of the rumor version of the story. To close today's extended breakdown, let's summarize the real message behind all this discussion. The claim that the Iraqi dinar holds a fixed rate of $2.31 is something people are talking about widely in 2025, but that does not make it verified. It is a conversation, not a confirmed financial update. The number spreads because it is emotional, specific, dramatic, and hopeful. But your strength comes from staying informed, staying grounded, and separating rumor from reality. In today's discussion, we walk through why these claims spread, how they gain traction, and how you can protect yourself from misinformation. If you found value in this deep, clear, and honest breakdown, be sure to keep checking back for grounded, responsible updates. Stay informed, stay smart, and remember, conversation can be interesting, but confirmations must always come from official sources.